4, 3, 2. Hello. Welcome to Fuga Online Radio. This is myself, DJ Hotlane. As you know, I'm here to bring you good news. I'm here to on the show, we've invited people, and we have a special guest today. She's going to share more good news. She's going to tell us about herself, and as well as some career guidance as well for you that's looking at, that doesn't know which career to go into, that is interested in being in ocean space or in any environmental space. So she's going to give us a story about what she does, where she's from, and how you would follow in her footsteps. So I'm going to introduce her. It's Kolisa. Kolisa, how are you?
Hi, Kolisa. I'm good. Thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm doing great. How's your day? How's your day today?
My day is not too shabby. Just busy as usual. All my days are busy. Even when I have off days, I'm busy.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's been a busy season. Been a busy year.
Indeed.
Melissa, so before we start, actually, I'm just gonna let the listeners know that we are here. We are on YouTube. We are on vugaonlineradio.co.za, Facebook Vuga Online Radio, Twitter Vuga Online Radio, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. Jump in, share this with anybody that you feel would be interested, somebody that needs career guidance, because in our schools, there's not, we have very limited information in terms of the career spaces that we can move into. So this is one of the spaces that even myself didn't know. And so now I'm really interested to know more about the space. So before we begin, I'm going to ask us to take a short break, and then we're going to get to know Kolisa and what she does and how you can be involved as well. Just coming back into. Welcome back. Thank you everybody for waiting for us. And I hope you've shared, and I hope there's more people waiting. And yeah, so let's begin. Kolisa, thank you so much. Your time is very precious, I know, so we'll just get to it. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Hi, listeners. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Kolisa Sinyanya, and I am an oceanographer. I'm an ocean scientist, really. I'm also a founder and director of a company, Ulwazi Scientific Communications and STEM Research. I have a PhD from the University of Cape Town in South Africa. And upon completing my PhD, I realized that there are a lot of skills that I have obtained during my PhD that academia does not entirely nurture and appreciate, if I can put it like that. And I wanted to harness these skills and pass them on to others. And so this is why I decided to register my own company and offer these skills. So my company does scientific related communications, research of all kinds, really. We especially do student support and researcher support, where we give private supervision to all types of researchers, especially early career researchers and project managers. We also have a side where because we are ocean people, run ocean consulting. And so on that side, we do a lot of managing of ocean related work. We also look at consulting that has to do with climate change and climate change mitigation, science, especially ocean science related education, and policy that is related to ocean management. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And I'm also a very fun-loving, chilled person. And I'm a born Sangoma. So I do consultations for my ancestors here and there, which is something I do full-time on top of everything that I am. That's Kolisa in a nutshell. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hi, Kolisa. Nice to meet you. Wow, that's amazing. This work that you do, and it's really something else, and I appreciate that because that's one of the works that we need more of, especially for early career development. We need more of that, and I feel like what you're doing is getting noticed. Because I've had a conversation with a few people as well, and interviews with a few people that you've actually met or that you know as well. And so that's how I came across yourself as well. It's like, okay, this Kolisa, she does this because we met before, but we never actually had we didn't have a more in-depth conversation. And I had to hear it from other sources. And I was like, you know what? I hope she says yes to this interview. Would really like to have her on the show. And thank you for being on the show and sharing this. Kolisa, with all that you are as Kolisa and all that you've become, how has Kolisa been received? Like in SA, I'm gonna start here in SA. How has your work been received by graduates or people that come to you for help in terms of career guidance? Do you feel like is it enough? Is it received enough? Tell me, how has it been received by the country so far?
Okay, so thank you for that question. That's a brilliant question, actually. So when you do your work, for a person like myself who does the work, trying to inspire others and to make others see that there's this type of work that you can do, that you can be brilliant in and you can have fun doing and make a living off. So it's very nice to see a response, and it's nice to hear you say it's being noticed, because in my understanding and from my angle, yes, I'm a global scientist. I'm globally known. I'm globally acknowledged, and my work, when I arrive in a place, I will say even internationally, when I arrive in a place, there are so many people who know me and my work that I have never met, that it tells me that the work is out there. But now, to answer your question and bringing it back to South Africa, within my social media spaces, I do know how received the work that I do is, especially on my Twitter platform and my LinkedIn platforms. When it comes to being invited to take part in events, for example, that are associated with my work, I see the acknowledgement. But I must say, I see that acknowledgement more abroad than I see it in my own country. But with that said, now that I have registered my own company, I am seeing another side of this acknowledgement and this need and approval of the skills that I offer, because I've gotten such a huge response, an actually shocking response, in my opinion, from South Africa as a whole, from different fields. You know, my company is called Scientific Communications and STEM Research, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But I'll tell you now, my accounts within my company right now, my clients are from diverse fields of education, of research. And that just tells you that people acknowledge that I am a researcher, end of story. It doesn't matter if I'm a scientist or I'm an ocean scientist or I'm an ocean biogeochemist. They understand that research is research and it's done the same way with, of course, some changes here and there, but over and above, research is done the same way. And so the response that I am receiving right now is amazing. It's beautiful. So that's what I can say.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Because the reason I'm asking the question, but before we get into that, gonna ask us to take a mini break, Kolisa, and then we're gonna come back and dive more into this conversation. So listeners out there, please don't forget to share this with your friends, with your family. This will be a nice conversation to have with the family as well, around your career guidance, or your neighbor might need some career guidance as well, whoever. So please stay tuned. We'll be back in a few. Thanks. And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And yeah, please, let's just jump right on it with Kolisa. Kolisa, you mentioned that you're being well received in the country, and that's very refreshing to hear, because what I've noticed is that a lot of people feel recognized more internationally and globally, which you've experienced, instead of back in their home where where our hearts are. So what, in terms of STEM research, which, okay, you said it's just research, right? That's being well received. That's research.
Yeah.
But again, so STEM research, please tell me a little bit more about that.
About STEM research?
Yeah.
Right. So in my I'll say field of expertise, STEM research basically talks about and I'll focus on ocean science, talks about how we conduct the work that we do, basically the studies that we do. And in my case, during my PhD, I had to do a lot of sampling. So you'd go to the ocean, you collect your samples. And when I say you, I mean me. I would go to the ocean, collect the samples, and we use the SA Gallus 2 some of you will know what vessel that is. It's the red and white ship. It's massive. It's a second generation icebreaker. So it also reaches the ice in Antarctica. And my study site when I started my PhD was the sub-Antarctic. So had to sail to the Southern Ocean and stay there for a couple of months in the middle of the ocean. And when we complete that, we return and do analyzing of those samples so that we can be able to get data from them, right? Because you need those numbers. And oceanography is largely about numbers. So if you're gonna go into oceanography thinking you'll be doing maybe questionnaires or any of that stuff, don't come. You'll just be dealing with numbers. End of story.
Okay.
And you take those numbers, you analyze them, you sort them, you sort them into different slots and different softwares according to what you would like to do with them, right? And then you'll do a lot of coding because you need to visualize those data, because you need to understand from the samples that you collected in this region, what are they telling us? And then with those, you go and you report what you have discovered. That is writing papers. And in my case, on top of writing papers, I did a lot of interviews of this sort, for example, but for TV, for radio, for magazines. I was on CNN talking about the work that I do. I was in Forbes magazine, Forbes Science, talking about the work that I do. I was invited by The Conversation Africa to talk about the work that I do. And a lot of scientists before me, I can say, were not doing that. And now I'm seeing more and more people have learned from what I was doing because they see the benefits of it. Because initially people, let me say scientists, STEM researchers particularly, all they want to do is do the research and follow the ancient rules of writing papers and keeping the research in archives. And then having just a few people, maybe out of 1,000 people, only 4 will understand what the paper is all about. And the aim for me, because I come from Mthatha, which is a rural town, I understood that not a lot of people even understand what I do in the lab. I'm just a Black woman there. I'm the only Black woman there doing the work that I do. And then I just put it out and the Black people don't understand it. And I wanted the Black people to understand what I do because it inspires them to want to come and do what I do. And so with that came a lot of opportunities, paid opportunities, international travel, platforms that I had never even imagined I would be part of. I did a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I'll say tasks, because at some point I was the ambassador for the American sorry, not biodiversity. I forgot the name, but these big platforms, platforms that I never imagined I would be part of. Sometimes when I get asked questions, I have to Google myself because I forget most of the stuff that I've done because there's so much of it, all within my PhD. It's when I started ocean science, my life changed forever. And I always say the ocean it's like my power, my superpower. And everything that I do always leads me back to the ocean. Even now, I literally have expanded with this company. I've decided to step out of my ocean shell and just do research in its entirety. But the ocean keeps pulling me back. get pulled back by ocean-related work. They want me to come back and work with them. So this is what career guidance is all about, trying to make everyone understand you. Career guidance is not just you going to schools and telling kids and students and learners about the opportunities that are out there. You show them. You become what everyone talks about. Everyone talks about that you can do this and that. You go ahead and do all that. And then you put it out there in the media so that the kids can see it, they watch it, and they aspire to be that.
Wow. Okay. Amazing stuff. I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure this is just the tip of the iceberg of the things that you've done and what you've accomplished. And it definitely is inspiring. And I hope that the listeners out there are listening to this and wanting to know more. So we're going to ask this question again to Kolisa, but for now, let's start with LinkedIn. How do they find you on LinkedIn?
Okay, so on LinkedIn, I'm Kolisa Sinyanya. That's my full name. Kolisa means to please. Yola is similar to Kolisa, like Uyolisa. And Sinyanya is ancestor. Imagine.
Wow. Now, yeah, you're born Sangom, straight up.
I am.
So, wow, I'm gonna take a short break, Kolisa, and then we're gonna what I'd like to hear from you. I'm pretty sure the listeners out there are also interested in this. How did you get into the space? Like, how did it find you? Because I have this thing about careers and passion that we don't find them. They just keep on looking for us. And up until they meet us, we're at a point where we're all ready. So after the break, that's what I'd like to hear more of, like how it found you, the space, and how would advise the young kids out there that are looking to go into the space, how to prepare themselves to be in it, and how do they get into it after the break. Welcome back. fugaonlineradio.co.za. This is Khotso, aka DJ Hotlane. You know what time it is. It's time to like, share, subscribe, go on all social media platforms, especially if you want to know more about Kolisa and what she does and how you can get involved, get your kids involved. Please follow her on her LinkedIn. We're going to add her LinkedIn, we'll share LinkedIn on our social media platforms. But let's continue with the work being done. Let's continue growing. Kolisa, thank you so much for sharing all of that. Before we went on a break, I wanted to find out how did you and the passion meet?
Thanks for that question. So, as you said earlier before the break, this line of work found me. I was honestly just asking questions. I was sending emails, asking questions to potential supervisors. I had just completed my master's degree at the University of Cape Town in botany, a different field. And my PhD supervisor received one of the emails, and I was asking, would I be doing this at the University of Cape Town, or because it said Rhodes University, or at Rhodes? And the lady was like, you know what? I think I'd like to work with you. Can we organize an interview? Listen, I was just asking. And I'm like, okay, okay, that's fine. We can have the interview. And we had the interview on Women's Day. And when we were done, I was just like, this is not even an interview. This lady is just having a chat with me. When we were done, she was like, well, this is yours if you want it. But you can think about it. And I was like, what do you mean I can think about it? Of course I want it. Of course I want it. And so that's how it found me. And from there, it was just, the rest is history, really, as it said. So it was time for me to choose what I wanted to work on. Even though she already had a topic that she had chosen, I'm a person who likes to do things my way. I think it's one of the reasons why I registered my own company, because I like to do things my way. Even during my PhD, I was just doing things out of the box so much that I think everyone was so worried about me that I'm not going to be able to complete the PhD because I'm doing too many things, but that's how I've always been. I can't focus on just one thing at a time. And for people out there, how they can get into what I do, you basically have to know your math and physics and chemistry and geography. Basically, your science, technology, and engineering related and mathematics related subjects. And during my time, they had different names. So now the curriculum is so much different. It has different names. I can't keep up. But what I know is that you have to know your numbers. If you are going to go into ocean science, any kind of ocean science, your numbers must be something you are friendly with. And I was not ready. I didn't know that I would have to encounter that, even though I had been a scientist literally almost all my life. I was hoping at some point it's going to decrease the numbers thing, but instead, when I got to my PhD, it increased. So be ready for that if you're going to follow this path. And also, I would advise even parents who are watching that if you have a child who is very interested in ocean science, please encourage and pay for their coding classes. And if there are any organizations like mine that offer research-related programs for young people, enroll your kids in those programs. I know that mine is not the only one. I don't know any other ones in South Africa. I know I work with two in the United States, one in Texas, and one is basically online, but based in the United States. And if anyone would like to get in touch about those, you can message me on LinkedIn. But it's very important for young people nowadays to know how to code, because coding is the future. It's the now and the future. I struggled a lot during my PhD with coding because I had never really taken it that seriously, because I didn't think I would ever need it like that. And it even affected my mental health, because when there's something that you're struggling with so much and you need this finish, it messes everything up for you. So I really would advise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nemvile-ke balaleli nabahlali eMzantsi Afrika nase-Afrika eNingizimu Afrika. Injalo le ndaba. Maths, geography, science. Please make sure. Aim high. Aim for the moon. And you'll watch the rest fall into place. And then, kodwa ke, there's another element. Akusasebenzi science ne-geography. Shine coding eceleni. Gcwalisele. The more tools you have, the better your chances. Because I hear you on that, Kolisa. It looks like coding is getting to become what mathematics used to be infamous for. Just the tough, challenging subjects, just numbers. But now we're going into that phase of coding, where we basically need to code on everything. So thank you for that information, and thank you for sharing today. There's so much that I want to ask you. There's a lot of questions that I have, but because we know you are very busy, and we know this is not the last time that we speak to you, probably gonna do a next interview, a next session. Just wanted to so if they want to join on your program, they'll catch you on LinkedIn, correct?
Yes. You can also go to our website, www.ulwazistemresearch.com. Or you can go to my website, www.kolisayolasinyanya.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Kolisa, that's Kolisa Fetu from Mthatha, Eastern Cape, South Africa.
Yes.
Doing the most. What are you doing? Come on, let's work together, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Follow Kolisa, follow Vuga Online Radio. Go on our website, vugaonlineradio.co.za. This is your boy DJ Hotlane. Thank you so much to Kolisa. Shout out and speak to you soon, Kolisa.
Thank you. Have a good day. Cheers.
Thanks. All the best in your future endeavors. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.